What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, what shorts did, and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So right now, Lucid is down 3.1%. From my watch list, we have Lucid, Starbucks, and that is it. Everything else, for the most part, is rallying like crazy. And the reason is because of Powell. So I'll go over that in a second. But so far today, $1.98 the low, $2.10 the high, and a lot of volume though. 129 million shares being traded, 132 is the average. But if we look at the secondary market, we don't really see that much in transactions, most of which is sales. A couple buys that was close to the Powell speech, but aside from that, not all that much. Popping over here quickly, you can kind of see from the flow, massive amount of smaller transactions. So algorithmic trading was in full force today. So that's where most of the volume did come from. And yeah, unfortunately, I think today the market was digesting Lucid's most recent news, and that was the reverse stock split. So I did a video, two videos yesterday, in fact. One was just going over the data points. Second one was that updated news about the whole reverse stock split. But still, you see a lot of people debating whether this is positive or negative for Lucid. And to be fully honest, I think it's too early to tell. Maybe Lucid has more to it and is acting based on unknown information to the public. But for face value, in my opinion, I don't see it's good. And even at the time of doing this video, despite what Powell just said, shorts are increasing 2.47 million shares. So over the last 3-4 trading days, shorts have increased just shy of almost 20 million shares. So I think shorts in reality are pouncing all over this negativity and trying to break it even more so on a technical level. 33.17% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 416.35 million shares overall are being shorted. So almost all-time high short interest numbers. So that's at 33.5. So given everything, most likely Monday we will be at all-time high numbers. So kind of crazy, but ultimately getting right to it, the main catalyst for the broader market was Powell's speech at the Jackson Hole Symposium. And during that speech, people were going to really pay attention to what he alludes to, whether it be hikes, cuts, neutral stance, and there was a lot of comments about just monetary policy, tariffs, and everything else like that. But for the most part, reading between the lines, market is taking all of this as Powell wanting to cut. So did highlight a couple sections where he did allude to that. And ultimately, as I even mentioned in my videos leading up to his speech, I said that most likely Powell is going to cut because of the labor. And he mentioned this almost like a solid month ago, that he's satisfied with the inflationary data, but it's the labor. That's one thing that he really wants to monitor. And since then, things have actually come out a little bit worse for wear. So yeah, I think it was kind of, this one hits home exactly what I mean on how technically the labor data has been worsening, potentially even to kind of recession levels of sorts, as what he does mention here. So yeah, moral of the story is that we are going to get a 25 basis point cut for the September 17th meeting. So right now there is an 85.2% likelihood of that occurring. That did jump up from 75, which was yesterday. So definitely good to see. Of course, I think in Lucid's scenario, it's unfortunate just the timing of everything, because Lucid always puts out typically good news on like horrible days, or flip side, they put out negative news on iconic days when everything is up almost like 4%. So it's just very bad timing in my opinion. But aside from that, looking at the options, 2.85 million in calls, 2.75 in puts, 41% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. So despite Lucid pretty much hitting lows, all-time lows, you are seeing still big money betting that there is more downside. Coming from this, the bulls are now optimistic that it'll be roughly around that $2 range. So that has gone down from $2.50 down to $2. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be pretty much roughly sub $2. up until it looks like October, and then that is where they feel like it will be a little bit lower, sub $1.50. So not all that great. Of course, by then all of these chains will be completely different because of the reverse stock split. So I think that's kind of the only positive about the reverse stock split coming from my standpoint, is I love to do options. So by them doing that and opening up the new chains, you can kind of do a lot of iron condor, because Lucid for the most part trades within a set range, so you could easily make some good money just by doing that. So I'll be doing more option related videos when post reverse stock split. That way you guys can actually benefit from some of the volatility for Lucid. But aside from that, with today being Friday, this is the open interest. So you have 3,000 at that 2, 28,000 at that 250, 11,000 at that 3, most of which is going to expire worthless. So you have 3,000 at that 2, but that's not going to cause any bump up in the stock price whatsoever. Funny thing though is, for those of you that actually have access to overnight trading, Lucid did hit a low of $1.80. I caught it and I did a post on Twitter when it was at $1.95, but this goes to show just the actual perception of the whole reverse stock split. So people just said, peace, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with Lucid anymore, possibly in the future, but as of right now, not so much. So let me know your viewpoint. Did you sell during the overnight? Did you buy more? I know I've mentioned in the past that the next time I will be buying will be between that $1.80 and $1.90 range, which if I was on top of it, I would have bought possibly a little bit, because I think the sell-off overnight was a little bit of an overreaction. But still, I think like without actual buyers and institutions buying it, it's just putting like a band-aid on a open wound. It won't really change anything. And as I mentioned in my video yesterday, I think just the mentality about the reverse stock split is just wrong. Like, by them doing a reverse stock split, it's not instantly going to have an epiphany with institutions and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to buy Lucid now. That's not what happens. What you need is actual operational updates, and Lucid doesn't do that. There's one stock I've kind of critiqued in the past, and that's a nice way of putting it, but that's Faraday Future. Faraday, they honestly are up like a solid 40+% in like the last 6 months, because what they do on social media, they market the hell out of themselves. Whereas if you kind of look at Lucid, this was the last post. It was actually looks like yesterday, 3/19, and this, I don't understand Lucid's marketing. Like, I get it. You have a very, very beautiful vehicles, I guess, Gravity and also Air, but do they think that this is beneficial to shareholders, to investors, to institutions? Posting this doesn't really do any justice to anything. And I don't think I've seen or heard of anyone actually saying, hey, you know what, this vehicle is beautiful, I'm going to go buy it. Like, maybe one or two people that are bored in life and have nothing else to do. But this types of posts, even if we kind of look further, like this type of stuff does not sell vehicles. So I think just Lucid, and Mark actually even mentioned about their whole marketing, like they need to really live by what they said, and they need to really revamp their marketing, because this does not jive whatsoever. Aside from that though, with it at 203, it is trading currently between these 2 points, so this S2 and this S3. So 202 is going to be a strong support, 210 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. So for right now, it looks like this S3 is holding. So stay tuned for my video over the weekend where I go over some expectations for the following week and so forth. And most likely with the reverse stock split, I do anticipate a couple new analyst ratings to come out, but for face value on the actual chart, things are looking absolutely horrible. So it is below the ALMA, insinuating that it wants to consolidate even further. Stochastic RSI, very oversold. So if there is a positive piece of news that does come out, then you could see some push higher. But right now, I think, like I mentioned, even when it was up here, when it was down here, all over the place, I said that now the ball is in Lucid's court. And so far, they're not doing really anything with the ball. They're just holding on to it, and I don't know. It's rather unfortunate on how Lucid does play out, but like I said, all of my videos are short-term type of stuff. If you believe in Lucid by 2030, 2035 and so forth, then they should hopefully be doing a lot of good things by then. But yeah, it's just rather frustrating to see them do what they do. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, if you are interested in some solid buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto every day, so worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. Even the ones this whole week I've been putting up for day trades have been on point, so definitely worthwhile to kind of pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.